Hey there, it's Kimberly Lucht, and today I want to talk a little bit about how you can make the most out of Gemini season. And so if you are a Gemini like me, maybe you love this time of year. It also tends to be, in my opinion, the best time of year weather-wise. Like, it's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's such a wonderful time to just be outside and be in nature and be around friends and do things that you love to do. It's just such a beautiful space to be in, and it's also really interesting energy to work with, because if you know anything about the Gemini Zodiac sign, it's the twins, right? So you have this kind of dualistic energy twinning around, and sometimes that can mean that you have, like for me, I feel like I have a really awake and alive and really vibrant Gemini twin, and I also feel like I have a healer and kind of more tapped into intuition twin, more psychic, more into the esoteric. And so that's how it kind of shows up for me. Of course, it depends on the day, but that's the general trend that I see, is that there's like this kind of soulful spiritual side, and also like, woo, let's listen to Daddy Yankee like side to me, where I'm like, yes, the reggaeton and like the, you know, day parties and like going out with friends and like doing all these fun things, and the colorful, vibrant side of life, right? So Brazil is very much for this type of Gemini twin, and my Gemini twin that's like super into that. And maybe, you know, being at home is more for this twin, where it's like, let's tune into the things that are not readily seen by the naked eye. And so that's just kind of how it shows up for me in daily life. But during Gemini season, I noticed that that dualistic energy is even more enhanced, and not just for me, but also for the people around me. And so maybe you've been noticing yourself being pulled in two directions a little bit, like you want to go outside and you want to work and you want to do all these things. And so if that's the case, then these 3 tips are really going to help you embrace Gemini season and make the most out of it. So tip number 1 is to play with lighter energy. And so what do I mean by that? Bring a little more lightness into your life. Geminis that I meet tend to kind of brush things off really easily. It's kind of like dirt off the shoulder Jay-Z vibes. It's not so heavy all the time. Like, things can happen that are pretty intense or pretty drastic. But Geminis, for the most part, they'll be upset about it, you know, 1 minute, and then maybe 10 minutes later, they're like, oh, I forgot about that. And, you know, there's beauty with both, right? There's beauty with being very deeply emotional and having those emotions last for a long time. And there's also beauty in letting things just kind of slide off your shoulder and melt away pretty quickly. It keeps things pretty light energetically, and it makes you feel like, oh, okay, things can happen and I'm okay. So play with that lighter energy, and see in what areas of your life can you bring in a little less seriousness and a little less heaviness into the mix. Tip number 2 is to invite duality into your life. And so a lot of things, we think things need to be black or white to make sense, or like it has to be this, and that has to be the other thing. And there's no grayscale or anything in between where both of them can coexist or co-create. And something beautiful about Geminis and Gemini season is that we can play around a little bit with things that seem to be opposites, but actually might complement each other or complement one another. And so, for example, there's a lot of elements to my life and a lot of elements of my personality that seem to be in conflict with one another. For example, the fact that I can get angry pretty easily, especially if I have accumulated emotions, but also the fact that I'm this kind of healer and I have a lot of intuitive abilities and psychic abilities. And these elements, they seem like they could be in conflict with one another, but because I'm a Gemini and I understand how these things kind of can coexist within the same person, it feels just kind of like, okay, that's how it is. That feels more liberating than thinking that I need to bottle myself into just one thing or one personality type or one energy type, right? So I want you to look at yourself and see, okay, is there a part of myself that I'm resisting? Is there something that I'm like not okay with? Maybe I feel like I shouldn't be this way and I'm that way, but I'm both things, maybe in different times of the day. Maybe seeing if you can embrace that dualistic energy, and maybe you think you have a lot of opposing elements to your life or to your personality. How could those things actually complement each other? Like, for example, the anger / healer vibes that I have, I think really connect to the fact that my energetic channel is so open. Like, it's like both of those things channel through me so easily, because I feel like underneath it all, that's the foundation for why those things are both true, right? The emotional and energetic channel is very wide open for me, and I feel things deeply, and I am very true to my emotions, and I really like to give space to them And I also like to come into it with the healing lens as well. Like there's room for both. So if there's any part of your life, or maybe there's people that you're judging that you're like, how could they be this and that? Maybe you could bring a little bit of that dualistic lens of like, both can be true. Both can exist, both can be present at the same time. Tip number 3 is to explore all your different passions. So let's say you've been called to herbalism, or maybe you want to study Ayurveda, or maybe you want to get into, I don't know, some sort of candle making practice. Gemini energy is all about discovering new talents or new abilities or new hobbies or passions, and really getting into the rabbit hole with new information. And we love to kind of discover new things and try new things. And so if that's something that you feel like you've been lacking a little bit lately, I want you to see if there's something that's been nudging you a little bit. Like if something has been calling to you, this is the perfect season to explore that. Gemini is a sign of communication, and with that, we have this ability to kind of bring a lot of information together and pool it in a way where it kind of makes sense. Like maybe it doesn't make sense to everybody, but it'll make sense to whoever it needs to make sense to. And like having all of that ability to pool information from different sources and then have this ability to communicate it in a way that's somewhat linear. We love information. We love to investigate. We love to research. We love to find new things out. And so again, Gemini is a sign of communication. And part of that means that you like to collect information about a lot of different things. And so really honoring that and stepping into that during this season, because it's so much fun to play around with. And maybe, who knows, maybe one of your new hobbies becomes like a new, I don't know, project or business or side hustle of some sort. It's something that I think it's fun to play around with during this season. And it doesn't mean that you have to stick with it forever. It's just like, okay, let's go exploring, let's go experiment, let's go find some new information, or maybe experience something that I've never done before. So just to recap, the 3 tips to make the most out of Gemini season is to play with lighter energy, to embrace duality in your life, and to explore maybe a new passion or multiple passions of yours that you haven't gotten a chance to yet. Those are definitely a lot of the things that I'll be doing during this time. So if you want to join me, yay, let's do this together. Comment below something that you feel like you're going to bring into this Gemini season for yourself, and yeah, how that feels for you. So thank you so much for watching. If you loved this and want a little bit more of this type of energy, I really invite you to check out my Soulful Business Roadmap. It's a free download. All you need to do is put in your name, your email, and then it'll be sent straight to your inbox. And basically what you're going to end up doing is playing with that dualistic energy of like, yes, growing a business, making a lot of money, and also having that soul and spiritual energy infused into it. And so if that sounds like something that you want to do during this Gemini season or at any time of the year, then go ahead and click below and sign up, and I'll see you on the inside. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and I'll catch you in the next video. Ciao for now, and happy Gemini season. Bye.